simplify. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is move all of these over, give myself a little more space. All right, so let's start with this first term here. We can take this x squared and cancel out that squared and move the x out front. In order to do that, we need to put it in absolute value signs, since here it has an even exponent of 2 and out front it's going to have an odd exponent of 1. Then we're left with the square root of 6, which cannot be simplified further. I'm actually going to move this over. Okay, next we have this portion here, which can be rewritten as 3 times the absolute value of x. Now I'm going to write this with a 2 squared in here, which is 4. 4 times 3 is 12, so we have 2 squared times 3. Now I'm going to move on to the next one over here. We have minus 3 times the absolute value of x times the square root of, alright, so 24. I'm also going to put a 2 squared in here, because that's 4. 4 times 6 gives us 24, so 2 squared times 6. And then I'm going to move to the last portion here. This x squared can also be, the x can be moved out front with absolute value signs, because it's x squared going to x to the first power times the square root of 3. I've almost run out of room here. Alright, so let's see what we have here. We have some like terms. We have the square root of 6 and the square root of 6. Since, well, if we simplify this further, let's do that before we combine like terms. X times the square root of 6 plus, so this 2 squared, the squared cancels out, the 2 moves out front. So 2 times 3 is 6 times the absolute value of x times the square root of 3, because there's a 3 left over. Minus, alright, so this 2 squared, the squared cancels, the 2 moves out front, so we have negative 6, this is negative 3. So now it's negative 6 times the absolute value of x times the square root of 6. And then here I'm just going to rewrite this a little nicer. 4 times the absolute value of x times the square root of 3. Now we can see the like terms a little better. We have the square root of 6 here with the absolute value of x. We have absolute value of x square root of 6 here. And then we have absolute value of x square root of 3, absolute value of x square root of 3. So we have 2 pairs of like terms. So we have 5 and negative 6 for this one, and we have 6 and 4 of that. So we'll do 6 plus 4 is 10 times the absolute value of x times the square root of 3. So I've combined this term and this term. Now I'll combine this term and this term, which is negative 1, because we have 5 minus 6. So negative the absolute value of x, the square root of 6. The answer is B.